When I moved to England from Brazil, I was. I didn't have any money. I didn't know anyone. But I knew that I had to do this. I had to live this experience. I wasn't afraid for what was coming because I knew there would be challenges. But I also knew that this had to be lived because it was a dream. It was a purpose since I was a child. And all the challenge would help me to become the person I wanted to be. When I moved to England, I was finishing school. I was in the end of law school. And I didn't like the course. I felt lost. I didn't want to work in this area. And I saw this as the perfect opportunity. And after university, it was the first year that I knew I would not be doing something. I didn't have work planned. I didn't have another course planned, so I was free. The first thing I thought was, well, that's the point where I will be doing this. And I had the courage to first get out of my comfort zone. Now, I am not from a rich family, but I had a lot of privileges. And getting out of this would be difficult. I knew that it would be challenging, but I also knew that it had to be done. There was no other plan. There was nothing I could do at this point. The only thing I wanted to do was move countries and live for a period in another country. That's it. This was the only plan. And if it wasn't this, it would be nothing. I don't know what I would do because this is the only thing I could think about. I don't think that I just chose this out of nowhere. I didn't just finish the school. Oh, yes, I will just move countries. No. This, as I said before, was a dream that I had since I was a kid. So since I was a kid, even when I didn't know how it would be, when it would be, how it would be possible, I always did what was possible for me at this point. So when I was a kid, I knew that I could study English. I had English in school. So what I did, I made sure that I went to all my English classes. I started listening to music in English, watching things in English, and writing in English. And I prepared myself, even from when I was a kid, all the way up, because I knew when this opportunity arrived, I had to have something. And this needed to be at least my ability to communicate, because when you go out to another country and you don't know anything about it, it makes things harder. So I knew this since I was very little. And I just learned English, and with some time I started working. It wasn't a good job because I was a student, so it was part-time. But I had some money, so I saved some money because I knew that someday I would need this money. I knew that I needed some familiarity with the place I was going. So I knew that it would be an English country, a country that speaks English. So I always, since I was a kid, was interested in things from America or England, and I got familiarized with this, with the culture, with the artists, everything really. And this helped me when I finally got to age and I had the opportunity to go for a holiday in another country. and it happened to be England. So I came to England for holiday, and this was when I had my first contact, like direct contact with the country. But I already knew a lot of things. So yes, it was very different, of course, from what I live in Brazil, but I understood the language a little bit. I understood I knew some artists that other people heard, and well, it didn't look like the most different country in the world for me. It was kind familiar. I remember when I decided to move and to do this, I told my family I would do that. And I remember my aunt saying, yes, you do that, like in irony, like I'm not going to do that, because I didn't have any family abroad. I didn't know anyone. There was no way this would happen in her mind, because there was no connection between me and another country, if you know what I mean. So when I planned everything and I went and looked at websites and ways to come and internship, and I planned everything and I decided that I was going, everyone was shocked. I wasn't, because this was part of my plan. I was planning for this for years. And for me, yes, it was a change, but I wasn't afraid. I already knew that, yes, I would move. Yes, it would be difficult, but it was something that I wanted to do so much and for so long that I was ready for whatever happened. So I never romanticized that living abroad would change everything and everything would be better and everything would be perfect. No, I knew that when I arrived, there would be challenges, there would be difficult times, but I was ready to just go with it. And in the beginning, it was really difficult. I was getting used to the language, because even I knew how to speak English. When you are talking to someone, is different, because you have to train your ear to the accent. And for me, in the beginning, was a little bit tricky, because I had to train my ear. I also had to learn to drive here, and it's completely opposite from what we do in Brazil. So I had these challenges since the beginning. It was also the beginning of winter, which is possibly the worst time for someone from a hot country to come, but I was here. And I knew all of this would happen, and I was ready to adapt. And I think this was very important during this time, that I wasn't romanticizing. I wasn't thinking that I would get here and everything would be amazing. Because what happens when you do this, we come, and when we see that the things are not like we imagined, we start to get lost again. So we don't grow with the experience. We either go back or we get lost. Like, start hating everything and thinking that, it was a mistake, and that's it. You didn't grow. When you actually manage to face your fears and face the challenges, is when your growth happens. It's important that we have a plan, even if it's just, a little guide. And it's important to know that in this plan there will be challenges, and these challenges are not happening to stop you, are happening to teach you. And when we understand this, we grow as a person. So I actually did everything myself. I found internship. I contacted a family, a host family. I spoke to this host family. I moved, and yes, I just came and lived here. I think that courage is more important than the perfect plan. When we have courage, we actually put ourselves in situations that will teach us something. And when we are afraid, we don't move, we protect ourselves. It's not wrong to protect yourself and to, stay in the same, but sometimes this is not enough. So for some people like me, I knew that just living the normal, just following a routine and living what I already knew, that wasn't enough for me. I needed to get out of this comfort zone and live something else. So this was important for me. You just need to have courage and be present and live one day after another with a clear mind that challenges are part of every growth. That difficult things happen for a reason, and we need to be strong and wise enough to understand that life is not perfect. And if it was perfect, people would not learn anything from it. I think it was very important for me to trust my capacity, to challenge my limits, and to transform all my fears in growth. And today I'm a person that tries to use this lesson to all the parts of my life. When things that I really want to do are difficult and there are challenges, I know that these challenges are not there to stop me. They are there to teach me something. And this is why I'm doing this video, because I want you to know my experience and maybe it will help you with something. I don't know. Coming here and talking to the camera has been a new challenge for me. But every time I come here and I do this, I learn something. And that's why I'm doing it. Because I am trying to learn something new. And that's it for this week. I'll see you next.